Thank you, Acting Deputy President. If the Tasmanian State Government gets its way, we're going to spend $370 million on a new Hobart Stadium at Macquarie Point. Anybody with a chequebook worth $375 million in free cash and facing the problems that Tasmania is facing wouldn't start with a stadium. The lack of U-Butte Stadium is, yes, a problem, but it isn't at the top of the list of priorities. So why are we doing this? Because we have a gun to our head and it's being held by the CEO of the AFL. The AFL says we can't have a team without building the stadium. Even though we've already got two, both of them meet the grade for the AFL, we play games there now. But you don't have to worry about those kinds of details when you're not the one paying for it. And the AFL are not the ones paying for it, Tasmanian taxpayers are. Why? Because the new stadium was never included in the AFL Task Force business case for a Tassie team. It wasn't supposed to be part of the deal. It snuck its way in and suddenly we're on the hook, just like a fish. And don't get me wrong, it's not to say that a stadium wouldn't be a good thing to have. It'd be great to have, I'm sure. Hobart is missing out on major conferences, and at the moment, Hobart doesn't have a site for a conference like that, which means we go without that money that comes from interstate tourism. That money's worth something to the state coffers. How much? No idea, because the state government of Tasmania has no idea. No business case prepared, no figures supporting the decision. We just don't know. It's pie in the sky stuff. But there'll be some value from it, and that's a good thing. It's why it's not a bad idea in isolation. We just can't look at this in isolation. I wish that we could. But if we're going to back this, what do you say to the people sleeping in their cars? Here's some free tickets, go on your way. Do you just tell pensioners freezing in their homes in winter because they can't afford their power bills that we'll send them some AFL-branded socks? Fair income. It's a fine thing to have a stadium. In more economically secure times, maybe we'd even be able to justify it right now. But it can't be on top of the list of things we need to spend $375 million on in Tasmania. We're in a housing crisis, we're in a health crisis, people are dying waiting for a hospital bed. They're not dying waiting for a bloody footy team. People are living in tents, and our priority has to be putting a roof over their heads, not putting a roof over a stadium. And the argument from the Tasmanian Premier that this money won't come at the cost of health and housing, with all due respect, is absolute rubbish. It is up to you where you allocate that money that Tasmanian taxpayers pay. Wake up to yourself. Is he saying it wouldn't be addressed faster if we spend it more? Why? Is he out of ideas of what he could spend the money on to make things better sooner? If he is, I'd say throw a rock out of your office window and whoever it hits will have a million ideas for you, but don't actually do that, because if it hurts them, there'll be nowhere in the health system to put them. If he isn't saying that and he's got ideas how to make things better sooner, is he saying that they don't need the money? If so, why isn't he doing them already? So, of course, what he's saying is he has ways to make it better, faster, but they need money right now and they don't have the money. They don't have $375 million sitting behind their couch. So where's the money coming from, Premier? From the roads? From the schools? From the hospitals? From Tasmanians to the AFL. The AFL is holding a gun to the head of Tasmanians, and that is the truth of the matter, and you are absolutely despicable when there are more crucial points that need to be dealt with. People's lives at risk in Tasmania, and here we are talking about a stadium that, quite frankly, we cannot afford. We cannot afford it when people's health is at risk, when teachers need a pay rise, when we've got ramping going on like there's no tomorrow. This is absolutely disgusting, and you're rubbing into the face of Tasmania some new U-Butte stadium that's got some automatic roof on it. What planet are you on, Rockcliffe? What planet are you on? I can tell you. Here's a go for you. Try him, Rockcliffe. Stick out. Come on, Rocky, stick your chest out. Let's see what you've got. Because I can tell you, instead we have a $375 million to spend on helping us lift our literacy rates, reducing our elective surgery times, sealing and resurfacing our roads, and they say give us a stadium or we'll shoot. I say to you, Rocky, tell them to pull the goddamn trigger and try their luck. Go on, Rocky.
Thank you,
Stick
Senator
your chest out.
Thank you, Senator Lambie. Senator Brown.
Thank you, Mr Deputy President. At the outset, I would like to